nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Okay. We have a septic repair for Michael Ferrera, 175 Plymouth Boulevard. It's an RDA. Lenny, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you doing?
Good.
Good.
Left with a magnet. Yeah.
Would they disappear?
No, they put them
they're
away.
still there,
So,
right?
yes.
Okay, Len Potter here, this for environmental design for Michael Ferrera, 175 Plymouth Boulevard on the shore of the South Watuppa Pond. The lot's very long, 263 feet deep. Plymouth Boulevard's up here, the pond's down here. The house is located down here close to the pond. We intend to replace a cesspool. We intend to install a 2,000 gallon two-compartment tank, 1,500 gallon main compartment, 500 gallon pump chamber, and pump up to the leaching field here. The yellow line here, that's the 100-foot buffer zone from the pond, so the system will be completely outside of the buffer zone. And the tank will be 50 feet from the edge of the pond. And that's pretty much it.
All right, thanks, Len.
Mr. Chairman, members, Michael Ferrera, 175 Plymouth Boulevard. This is a request for determination of applicability filed by Westport Environmental Design with Len Potter representing. Report date is December 6, 2024. Agencies required to be contacted. Board of Health, I believe this is Board of Health approved. Site visit was also on December 6, 2024. Description of work, the applicant has filed for the septic repair to the existing property at 175 Plymouth Boulevard. The proposed work is a minor activity in the buffer zone to South Watuppa Pond. The 2,000 gallon pump chamber / septic tank will be installed 50 feet from the edge of the pond. The force main will be extended to the leaching area designed outside the limit of the buffer zone. Erosion controls will be installed and maintained until the area is stabilized. This is a buffer zone activity. Recommendations, the Westport Conservation should approve the subsurface sewage disposal system repair with a negative box 3 determination for Michael Ferrera, 175 Plymouth Boulevard.
This approved already, Len, by the Board of Health?
I'm not sure.
All right. Do you know, Phil?
I can't remember.
Get a young amendment next time.
I got it in my office, Mr. Chairman,
okay.
and I'm signing it, so that usually means the Board of Health has approved
We'll
it.
just, we can pass on, contingent on, all right, anybody have any questions? If no questions, look for a motion contingent on.
I'll make a motion to
Board of
approve,
Health.
subject to Board of Health approval.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, Len. Thank you.
Next one is that me?
Next one's you as well.
Is it?
It
Yes,
is
it is.
Jeffrey Reynolds, notice of intent, 318 Gifford Road, construct storage garage in the buffer zone.
There's your green cards.
Thank you, sir. Whenever you're ready, look.
Okay, this property is up off of Gifford Road, at the end of a gravel road, that's labeled Grove Street. This is the very end of the road, this is the cul-de-sac on paper, that's what exists, the laneway truly just goes through to a property over here, the Saminsky's. The wetlands edge is defined flag 100 through 105. The proposed building is a storage building. It is 60 by 100, located as such. The driveway to access this will come in off the gravel laneway and enter from the west side of the property. The drainage is a drainage swale at the high end, which is adjacent to the Stockwell property, and that goes through grass line swale all the way down to here. The roof runoff will be contained and distributed into an underground Coltech system here. So the gutter drains go all the way around and connect here. The filling has been kept to a minimum in the back. This is existing elevation 90, this is 91, 92, this is 91 here, so there's a little bit of filling in the back, but we try to keep that to a minimum. Erosion controls are shown on the eastern side of the property, and the wetlands is down here. Bread and Cheese Brook is back about 1,000 feet from here, so there's no river front per se. That's pretty much it.
Thanks, son.
Mr. Chairman, Jeff Reynolds, 318 Gifford Road. This is a notice of intent application filed by Westport Environmental Design with Len Potter representing. The report date is December 6, 2024. The file number for this project is pending. We have not received anything at this time. Green cards have been provided to the chairman. Site visit was also on December 6, 2024. Description of the work. The applicant has filed a notice of intent to construct a 60 by 100 storage building in the buffer zone. The wetland line represented on the plan is accurate. That would be wetland flags 100 through 105. The existing area has been utilized for storage and currently is for where this building is proposed. It would be 41 feet from the wetland edge at its closest point. Grading to direct stormwater along the west side and around the back portion of the building is shown with the grading plan and the swale area that Lenny has designed. Gravel drive will be extended over to the building from the existing access off of Gifford Road. Erosion controls will be installed around the work area and remain until the area is stabilized. This is, again, a buffer zone project. The only thing I did not mention, and Lenny brought to my attention, is the roof runoff is being directed into a dry well system, as Lenny mentioned there. I forgot to bring that to your attention. Recommendations: the Westport Conservation Commission should approve the 60 by 100 storage building. This would be pending file number with standard conditions. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Lenny, any questions?
No questions.
Any questions from the table? Any questions from the audience? Do you guys have a question? If you do, you can just come stand up here and just state your name for me if you could, okay?
Sure.
And then you could ask away. Yeah, right at the podium, please.
Sure. No, I'm Kathy Sminsky. I'm just here because I was curious about making sure that the water runoff doesn't end up impacting my property.
You're right next door.
Yep.
Len, you want to, do you mind just showing her the water?
What's going to happen is you know this all travels to the west, east and west downhill.
Yep.
So we're going to put the drainage swale all along the high end, with the western side, and then run it down to the grass line swale and then it goes down again. So the grass line swale treats the runoff water. And then the major problem is your roof water, it's a large building. So we put downspout drains on the four corners and conduct that into an underground using facility here.
Is the address 318? I just
So
couldn't
the
find
only water that should be going down.
Is that address 318? Is that
Water
correct?
that's treated in this grass line swale.
I can't find it on the GIS map.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that
It's
another thing for
Reynolds
me that
Lane
is
off of
of
Gifford
concern
Road.
is, yeah, it's a big, what looks like a commercial
It's right
building, I
across
guess.
from
Yeah.
And
Mouse Mill.
if there's any issue
Yeah.
with
Okay.
equipment that has like a leak or something like that, that gets contained and manages to stay out of the wetlands. That's the only other thing. Okay,
It's basically just all electrical supplies.
okay.
You can see now, you have all kinds of piping in there and all that.
Yeah, there's a couple of trucks there and such.
All right.
Did you
Is
find
there
it?
anything else we can help you have? That's
My
it?
concern is
It's
just about
south-
making
south
sure
of
that
Mouse Mill.
The water doesn't
water
flood you
gets
off.
contained and
Just
doesn't
north
get
of Mouse Mill
contaminated.
Road.
I don't blame you.
That hurts my well. That's
Right,
it.
I don't blame you. All right, well, thank you.
Thanks.
Is he with you, or does he have questions as well?
There's my father. He's-
Okay,
Thanks.
all right, well, thank you. All right, anybody else have any questions? If not, motion?
So I'll move to approve the plan for 318 Gifford Road with standard conditions.
Pending file number.
So pending, pending
Yep.
file.
All right, we have a motion from Phil, do we have a second? Second from Roy, all those in favor? Opposed? All right, that's unanimous, Al. Thank you, Lenny. Next up, we have Lori Resendes, notice of intent, 108 Sylvia's Lane. Construct fixed pier, gangway, and float in the riverfront area. Good evening, Mr. Leach.
Mr. Sminsky,
Good evening, Sean Leach, Northeast Engineers, representing David and Lori Resendes, 108 Sylvia's Lane. This is a standard dock located on the property. There's an existing stone jetty right now. We're not doing anything with the stone jetty. We're not disturbing it. We're not removing it. We're not adding to it. What we're doing is spanning it with a wooden dock to get to a point where it's fairly deep water right out in front. So there's about 4.5 feet water where the float is, so there's no problem with float stops or anything required. Eelgrass survey from 2020 and August of this year, you'll know eelgrass in this area is very rocky, it's very deep, very rocky, very stony in here. It's one of the reasons you want to span out far enough, because bringing the boat in here is kind of tricky. There's a lot of big rocks. It meets all the requirements of the town of Westport's dock, and we're ready to send it off to Chapter 91 once we get the order of conditions.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members, Lori Resendes, 108 Sylvia's Lane. This is a notice of intent filed by Northeast Engineers and Consultants. Sean Leach is here representing. The report date is December 6, 2024. This file number is also pending, so needs to be mentioned within the motion. Site visit was on December 6, 2024 as well. The description of the work: the owner has filed a notice of intent to construct a fixed pier, gangway, and float on the east branch of the Westport River. The property has an old jetty that is in disrepair. The section of the fixed pier, 48 feet, will be constructed on top of the jetty. The 38-foot section of pier will continue and have piles driven into the river bottom. The gangway, 20 feet, and the 8x20 float will be installed at the end. The pier will require float stops to keep 30 inches off the bottom of the river. The dock needs to get the Marine Services approval. Applicant needs to forward a copy to his attention. The dock as designed, as Sean mentioned, will meet the town of Westport stock policy. And also, there was no eelgrass found during the survey, or is there history of eelgrass within this area based on DEP's prior surveys. Resource areas to be impacted as land subject to coastal storm flowage, land containing shellfish, and riverfront area. Recommendations: the Westport Conservation Commission should request the applicant continue the hearing and obtain the Marine Services letter of approval before the final commission vote.
We've sent it off to Marine Services and DEP. I don't know, both were kind of slow responsive with numbers, and I think because of the holiday, maybe, I'm not sure, but we're waiting pending.
You can, I don't have a problem, Mr. Chairman, pending the Marine Services approvals,
Sure.
if the members wish.
Okay.
That's just part of our policy. We like to get that Harbor Master Marine Services comments, which Sean and I know his comments will be to put reflective materials on the floats facing seaward. But still, I want to make sure that it's situated in an area that's not confining others.
All right. Any questions, Sean?
No.
Any questions from the audience?
Little Pond Road, Little Pond Island?
Somewhere in that vicinity, there are numerous docks.
Yeah, there is docks, okay.
There are all docks,
Yeah,
yes.
there's docks, there's a dock here, there's a common dock here, and there's one further down.
Correct.
Yep, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Mr. Resendes has one up, I believe, on the
Right.
opposing side of his own.
Yep.
Right.
They own two properties, this happens to be the other property.
So how much further outside the jetty is this extend?
Uh,
Because you say it's built on top of the jetty, or?
38 feet goes to
38
fixed
feet,
pier
fixed
off the
pier.
jetty, and then the gangway 20.
so you're talking
And an eight by-
75 feet probably?
In total, or 35 feet out from the fixed pier?
75 from the jetty.
Jetty, from the jetty.
Okay.
And then that's consistent with the other ones? Or is it
Yeah,
not?
they're all pretty much, you can see the piles of the aluminum here.
Yeah.
Basically, there's a pretty deep
Right.
channel that runs on the end of here, and just, the state's not gonna let you get too close to the channel, which is why the
Yeah.
float is
Right.
positioned this way.
That channel's
so it's a
closer
safe thing.
to the docks?
Yes.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Well, that's where we like to
Right.
get, excuse me, Mr.
Yeah.
Tudor Chairman, we like to get the Marine
Yeah.
Services comments.
Right.
Because those channels, you are correct, does move, and he may want to just add those comments.
So, I thought I heard Sean say he didn't think he needed float stops, and your report says he does need float stops, so
He has float stops on, I know he had float stops on the plan.
We show flow stops if it's
Okay.
required by marine services, but
Okay.
there's literally 4 feet of water there.
Okay.
30
all right.
inches is the requirement.
Okay, well, as long as the plan has it, I just didn't want us to approve a plan that didn't incorporate, what Chris recommended.
Any other questions? If no more, if we make a motion, it's gonna be pending the file number and pending the Marine Services.
Correct.
Comments. So, whatever your pleasure is.
Well, I'll move to approve the dock plan for 108 Sylvia's Lane, subject to getting a file number and obtaining Marine Services approval.
All right, that was Phil. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Jason. All in favor? Opposed? All right, that's unanimous. That was Phil and Jason. All right. Next, we have James Long, notice of intent, 1180 American Legion Highway, construct 3 storage buildings with comprehensive drainage plan and retention basin in the buffer zone.
Can you state McCady LLC?
Sure, McCady LLC, James
Yeah,
Long.
James Long, thank you.
You have the cards?
There's a couple of voters on this one.
All right. Guess so, huh?
Good evening, Sean Leach, Northeast Engineers, representing McCady LLC for proposed storage facility on 177. This property is the old St. George School or the Montessori School, depending on when you got here. It spans between American Legion Highway and Union Avenue. There's a steam that goes out to Union Avenue. The wetlands were flagged and located and shown here in green. There's also the Westport River coming out of Lake Nokichoke, flows by to the east of the property. We don't own to the Westport River, that's owned by the city of Fall River. We own to 1/4 of the high water mark on that which is shown. So what is being proposed are 3 storage buildings in this location here and here. Located within the 100-foot buffer, which is this yellow line here of the wetlands, are an 8,250-foot storage facility, a 6,000 and a 6,000 storage facility with access roads. There is a 200-foot riverfront zone, which is shown in blue. All those buildings will be outside the riverfront zone itself. The only thing that's inside the riverfront is some grading and some of the drainage detention basin. The detention basin is sized to infiltrate as required in the Aquifer Protection District to infiltrate the impervious area of the facility. Right now, there's no stormwater drainage controls and nothing going on. And previously, there was a playground, and this is all grass. That's not changing. There's no disturbance to the existing tree line or existing woods. Everything is kept outside of that on the already previous developed area. We have upgraded the septic system. There's a huge septic system for the school that will be removed, and a small septic system for the facility, which is going to be just a storage facility. So this has gone to the planning board for site plan review and received positive review from the drainage consultant with some tweaks here and there regarding. Originally, we had proposed gravel and they wanted pavement, so we're proposing to keep it pavement just for access, and the fire department wanted the pavement also. We've actually reduced this somewhat, some of the pavement. With the drainage facility, everything meets all the stormwater requirements and storm quality requirements of the state of Massachusetts, and it's outside all the 200-foot and outside the 25-foot no activity zone, which is requested by the Conservation Commission.
All right, Joe. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, McCady LLC, James Long, property located 1180 American Legion Highway. This is a notice of intent application filed by Northeast Engineers Consultants. The report date is December 9th, 2024. Again, the file number for this project is pending. Agents required to be contacted. This is a ZBA approval before you. Site visit was also on December 6, 2024. Description of the work: the owner has filed to construct 2 storage buildings and associated stormwater basin in the buffer zone and riverfront area. The property is the former St. George's School that has an existing playground and lawn within the proposed work. The site borders on the Westport River and has a wetland that is located further upslope. The wetland line was reviewed and determined to be accurate as shown. The design of the stormwater mitigation will provide a total suspended solid removal rate of 89%. This will be achieved by installing deep sump catch basins, a sediment forebay, and utilizing an infiltration basin. The soils are favorable to allow the proposed infiltration design. These are Class A soils, 1-2 material, so that should work very well in this area. The storage buildings will be constructed on cement slabs and will have a finished floor that will be a few feet above existing grade. These are not a tremendous amount of filling on this project. Asphalt drives will be installed around the buildings for access, as Sean mentioned. A construction pollution prevention plan and an operation and maintenance plans have been provided within this application and should be part of the order of conditions. The last I did not mention was they're maintaining that 25-foot setback from the wetland area, as Sean reminded me. Thank you. Resource areas to be impacted, a riverfront, buffer zone, and this is also within the aquifer protection area. Recommendations for the board: the Westport Conservation Commission should approve the proposed project pending Mass DEP file number with an operation and maintenance plan and the construction pollution prevention plan with standard conditions for this project, Mr. Chairman. That is all.
In the first sentence, you have 2 storage buildings, supposed to be 3.
There are 3, but 2 of them are in our jurisdiction, one of them is not.
People on TV.
Oh, I apologize, yes.
We have high
There are
ratings,
3
big
proposed,
ratings.
but within our jurisdiction, 2 of those come into play.
Okay. Any questions, Sean?
No.
No. Gentlemen, any questions? No. Anybody in the audience have a question? No. All right. If there are no questions, motion, please.
I'll make a motion to approve with Chris's recommendations
Pending file number, please.
and pending file number.
Second.
That was Kevin, second. All those in favor? Opposed? All right, that's unanimous. Thank you, Sean. Manny Lindo, RDA, 922 State Road, construct 2 metal storage buildings in buffer zone. Anybody here from Mr. Lindo?
Yeah, George is here.
George, how are you? Chris, why is this on the front of the folder?
What is that?
It's a signature, that's the Lindo folder.
Because they signed it last meeting by accident,
Oh,
I guess.
okay, well, that's fine.
This doesn't pertain to, we haven't voted on it, but.
I can get another signature page, Mr. Chairman, because
You
that
wanna do
means...
that, yeah.
I'll be right back. What's that, Jason? Do you need me to...
No, I'll ask later. It's just,
Oh, wait, there's one underneath, okay. There's one, don't forget it. There's
You got
there.
one?
Yeah, you can have that.
Can you do me a favor? It's right to your left.
Assist.
Assist, if you want to call it that. Thank you.
Guys,
George, how are you?
for the record, my name is George Ayub. I'm representing Mr. Manny Lindo. I got a sketch of the 2 barns that we're proposing on the property.
Thank you.
On here, couple.
thank you.
We can't accept it. It's made in China. We need American steel. Might last longer.
Whenever you're ready, you
Okay.
feel free.
As you can see here, we have a 2.4 acres property. Currently, there are 2 condo units on the property. Those are rented out. This property is located off Route 6, quite a bit of. There are some wetlands here, and they have been flagged by Jim Walsh. And recently, last year, last year we installed a new septic system for 2 properties, and now we're proposing those 2 25 by 33 and 13 feet high, 13 and a half feet high barn, metal barn. Those are uninsulated, and the reason for this is Mr. Lindo has too many equipments outside. I'd like to clean it up and just put them inside. And we're proposing like one bathroom here in case he want to use it or for his own use basically, and connect it to the existing system. And the metal storage barn will be located at least 67 feet from the wetland. We'll be using silt socks and upland of the wetland, and basically that's it. Hopefully we get.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members, this was a continuance, Manny Lindo, 992 State Road, a request for determination of applicability. George Ayub is here representing, as well as the owner. The report date is November 19th, 2024. Again, this was a continuance. Site visit was also on November 19th, 2024. Detailed description of the work. The applicant has filed to install 2 metal storage buildings in the buffer zone. The buildings would be 25 by 33 in size and will be constructed 67 feet away from the wetland at its closest point. The wetland on the property were recently approved with an RDA for the septic repair this past spring, as George had mentioned. The work is mostly within this previously disturbed area and the maintained lawn. So this isn't proposing the clear area, it's actually within previously utilized property that has been maintained from what the aerial photos show for many years. So recommendations to the board, the Westport Conservation Commission should approve the project and issue a negative box 3 determination for the metal storage buildings at 992 State Road.
Do you have any questions, Joseph? No. Anybody at the table have any questions or comments? Do you have a motion?
I move we approve the project and issue a negative box 3 determination.
Second.
Yeah, that was Bart and Phil. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. That's unanimous, Sale. All right. Have a good night.
Take care, guys.
Have a good night. Partial certificate of compliance, Michael Zanis, 1 Nix Way, SE 802534. Chris?
Mr. Chairman, this was brought up at the last meeting. We had not a quorum to carry this through, so we postponed it for this discussion. This is a partial certificate of compliance release for a phase 1 of the boardwalk constructed at 1 Nix Way. This was a joint project with also the Mirandas, which also own a parcel of land that goes to the ocean. Michael Zanes, 1 Nix Way. This is a request for a partial certificate of compliance with a letter supporting this from Dave DeVignan from Schneider, DeVignan, and Leone. The report date is November 19th, 2024. The file number for this project is SE 802534. Description of the work, the engineer of record has provided a support letter and pictures of the work that have completed to date. The owner has installed the elevated stairway up to the top of the dune. The remaining work was placing a wood slat walkway laid along the ground. So the phase 1 of the project was to get to the top of that first tertiary dune or quaternary dune in the rear of the properties at Nix Way. And once at the top, they were supposed to head across the dune to a secondary area, which is still pending construction. And as you know, we had a major alteration of the coastal habitat there. I have not been to the site to refer to how that is coming back, but before that phase 2 would be initiated, that would have to be acceptable to this commission. So at the present time, I do agree that a certificate of compliance for a partial release is in order. So recommendations, the Westport Conservation should approve the phase 1 completion of the project and issue a partial certificate of compliance for the above referenced portion of the walkway over the dunes. That is all, Mr. Chairman. That is for Michael Zanes, file number SE 802534.
Any questions for the partial certificate of compliance or concerns?
Chairman, I just need to abstain from the
All
vote.
right. Jake will be abstaining. Anybody have a motion or any comments?
Well, I'll move to approve the phase 1 completion of the report and issue a partial certificate of compliance for that portion of the walkway that has been constructed.
Thank you, Phil. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Jake. So that's everybody but Jake, okay? All right, so now we just have bills and correspondence. Okay, first one we have is WB Mason, $20.90 for office supplies. Do you have a motion?
Motion approved.
Motion from Jake,
Second.
second from Jason. All in favor? Opposed? All right, that's unanimous. West Bay Media for advertising for hearings, $246. Do we have a motion?
Motion to pay.
Motion from Kevin, second from Jake. All in favor? Opposed? All right. Now I'm just gonna pass over this for a second. See, we have minutes from 10:22. It was opened by me. Present was Jake, Tom, Bert, and Phil. So we have 4 people, and Kevin. So we have enough people here to vote on this. So minutes from October 22nd. If there are no changes, we have a motion to accept.
Motion approved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions, anybody? Or, all right. We have minutes from 9:17. Present, Jacob, Jason, Burton, Tom, and that's not happening. All right, minutes from, June 11th.
Can't get that one done.
Seems like
Still
we're
going.
present with myself, Jason, Jake, and Tom. That's not happening.
Tom's screwing this up.
Yeah, Tom's not here.
It's Tom's fault.
Tom's a troublemaker.
HR to call Tom.
Did we just vote on this one? All 3 of these?
Absolutely.
You did, Chairman.
Didn't we vote on
Yep,
2?
did
Oh,
vote
that's right,
on
passed.
the
I signed that one, okay. Last but not least, we have a Chapter 61A release for Daniel G. Richard and David L. Taylor from 533 Horseneck Road, map 73, lot 73, 74, 76. Plan book 187, plan 71. We're looking for a sign-off for the Chapter 91 release. And this should be returned to the Select Board no later than December 14th. So, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, this is land that has been brought to our attention to the 61 release, but it contains a few houses on it, so this is not vacant land. There is the closest lot to the Meyer property is vacant, but there are, I believe, 1 or 2 houses on this, so these are 3 individual buyers that are under this request, because I believe they've placed money down and signed P&Ss. This property, again, is not suitable for anything but what is proposed here this evening, so I'm in favor of the release.
And the release is just saying that we have
Correct.
no use, and no intent to buy the land, no interest.
Correct.
So, all right, that's for everybody on TV watching us right now. I want to let them know why we signed these things.
Yes,
And we're not taking possession of it to
we're not taking possession
to
at
put our own
this.
house on it.
Correct.
All right. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to
Thank you,
accept
Jason.
the 61A release.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second for Phil, all in favor? Opposed?
Opposed.
All right, that's everybody but Mr. McGuigan. That's Conservation Commission, Westport. Suggest the town of Westport release the property, yes. What's the date, the 10th?
Yep. My anniversary.
Is it?
Today is?
Congratulations.
I'm here, that's the, sacrifices I make for the town.
I know.
This is your anniversary on Concom or your
No.
marital
Marital
anniversary?
anniversary.
Is your wife home? Or she
No, it's
working?
in DC.
Phil, you notice he left that last part out when he made us try to make us feel bad?
You can get some good restaurant deals on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So what's better than Saturday?
Why don't you fly down to DC and surprise her?
Hey,
Taco Tuesday.
Take a red eye.
Were these
Sending a video of this as your wedding present.
were these properties put into 61A when the houses were already on the property?
I think there was acreage enough to have it in 61A, and they were farming it by haying one of the larger pieces. So that's how they were able to get in this. So as long as you have the acreage suitable to get in that program, you can. And again, maintain that cutting of the hay in that field.
Do the taxes
Yes.
stay the same?
No,
even once
no,
the
they-
house goes up?
No, that reduction has to be paid back. So when you pull this out at 61A, yeah.
No, but I'm saying when the houses were built, does value of those houses affect the taxation on the 61A land?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I think it's the only portion that's being used as agricultural, so I would say no.
Chris, they pulled the last 5 years?
I believe it
I think
is,
five,
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Which is minuscule, anyway.
Right, well, for what they saved over the
Well,
years.
but up by you,
Yeah.
that made a huge difference. That whole stretch of Sodom Road,
Sure. Oh, yeah.
zero agricultural activity going on there, and pulled it out of 61A. I mean, that was just a way to evade real estate taxes legally.
15
All right.
houses, yeah.
Anybody else have it? Chris, what do you have tonight?
I would like to request, Mr. Chairman, that we make a motion to cancel the December 23rd meeting that we have
Which
as
is-
our next meeting.
Why don't we move to the 24th?
But that would be
Or
even
25th, maybe.
more foolish.
I'll accept
So
the motion.
yes, I would say that we totally cancel that meeting, and our next meeting would be January 7th.
Does anybody have a problem with that? No? You wanna make a motion? Jesus, can't get a motion to cancel a meeting.
I'll make a motion to
Second.
cancel the meeting
All
on
right.
Of
Christmas
December
Eve.
23rd, 2020.
Christmas Eve.
I thought it was the 24th. That's what we talked about before, but it's the 23rd.
I thought it was the 24th, but it's the
Okay,
23rd.
okay. I'll make a motion to.
It's the 24th.
Is it the 24th? I thought it was.
Oh, we should keep, yeah, I want it on the 26th.
Yeah, I already booked my motion.
No motion.
Can I bring some, I'll cook, so I'll make tenderloin and Jake can bring a cake.
Oh, no, I'm definitely canceling. If you're cooking, I'm definitely canceling.
You're bringing tenderloin, I'll be here.
All right, so we have a motion to cancel the
That day?
meeting from Jason the 24th. We have a second.
Guess I'll second it.
All right, I know you hate to do that. Do we have, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that's unanimous. Leon, if you want to let people know that Christmas Eve we're not going to be here. Valerie, I'm sorry you can't be here Christmas Eve with us. Yeah, you'll be okay.
And that's the other thing I don't have, Mr. Chairman, that's it. That's all I got.
I had one quick question, and I meant to ask it when Sean was doing his doc presentation. If someone had a mooring at the bottom of Sylvia's Lane, and an existing mooring would affect the location of that dock, would someone be forced to move their, or relocate their dock plan for an existing mooring, or
think
the
the mooring
mooring
would
person be
The
relocated?
mooring would be moved.
The mooring would be moved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the property owner I would assume has more rights than the individual with the mooring because of his riparian rights of constructing a dock. I guess he could easily slide, but we do see people get upset by this, but yes, that's where the harbor master and marine services may, you know, he may not know of that, but if you know somebody that has that concern.
If it hasn't happened yet, it's going to. It's
Well, right,
docks
right,
and
well.
moorings, it's
Yeah.
bound to happen.
I-
just didn't know what
Half these moorings not even licensed, so I mean,
Yeah,
that would
it's
be,
really-
so.
But it's really DEP has jurisdiction over that issue, because that's where, the kind of scenario that you're talking about can get raised, in the Chapter 91 licensing, about whether the length of the dock or how it's, its position, interferes with, navigation on the
True,
water.
that could be, someone could comment on that
So
during
it
there.
could.
But yes, I think we,
Negotiated, but that, that,
I think it would be a negotiation that the
Yeah,
person would just slide his mooring
I'll
left
just
or right.
Tell the guy building the dock that the crane was mooring over 10 feet.
But,
be done
but
with
you're
it.
absolutely right, with the channel being as Kevin, and knowing the channel's that close, there's
Yeah.
really not much to move, and secondly, to get to the docks makes it difficult on certain tide events, based on a mooring of a boat, swing, and all that relative.
That's where the turn is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You have Sylvia and the island is right here, so. it's-
Yeah.
It's tight.
Oh, yeah, that's a very narrow section.
That's where you make the
To begin
90
with.
90 degree.
Is there a
turn.
fishing hole there we should know about, that we can maybe
No.
stop them from?
There's peanut bunker there all summer for no reason. There's no
Right.
structure. There's peanut bunker there
They just-
every day
It's just like
for
slack
no good
water.
reason. Yeah. Baby pogies, baby menhaden. Yeah.
All right, looking for a motion to adjourn.
move to adjourn.
Thank you. We have a second?
Second.
Second, Jason, all in favor? Opposed? That's unanimous, Leon. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.